So the last thing I want to talk about today is the final topic, which is topic 4, application problems. And for these problems, we're going to do some in class in groups. So all I want to really do is go over the labeling of figures when you draw your figures. So I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a little figure. Oops, that's way too large. Start here. This is more reasonable. Here I have a building, some grass, some windows, and I have a little guy here on this floor standing out. Let's say there's a little deck there. His line of sight right here, I'm going to call this guy the horizontal. He lifts his head up because he sees an airplane in the sky right there. So this right here from the horizontal, this angle right here, we call the angle of elevation. And we call it angle of elevation because he's lifting his head. He has to elevate his head to actually see this airplane up there. Now, say this guy is not doing so well. He's pretty depressed. He is going to jump down. He looks down to see, well, how far exactly am I to the ground? So as he looks down, this angle here is called the angle of depression. And this guy must be pretty depressed if he's thinking about jumping. So, anything up here is the line of sight above, anything here is the line of sight below. If I call this angle of depression, I'm going to give it one of our Greek letters we've talked about, mostly theta, so I'm going to use theta. We talked, or in geometry you learned about two parallel lines and a transversal. So if I have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, this angle here, theta, and this angle here should be equal to each other. Now this is important because if they just give you this angle of depression from his horizontal, you know this angle, and a lot of people confuse it with the angle that makes the right triangle right here, this one here, and it's not exactly that angle, it's this angle here. So you need to be very careful. So that's all we have for these notes. Go ahead and leave your questions or comments below. Submit your little quiz here, activity quiz, whatever you want to call it, and we will be getting into groups and working on some class projects.